We're going to talk now to Brandon Best Blake from the village of Coildove. He last weekend was over competing for Ireland in the United World Wrestling European Championships 2023 at the under-17 grade, and it's an Olympic level standard. He was the first ever Irish person to compete at this competition for the country. I'm delighted to say that Brandon joins us now on the line. Brandon, good morning and thanks for taking the time to speak to us on the show.
Good morning, Owen. Thanks for having me on. I appreciate it.
So we'll talk a little bit about the competition in a moment, but tell us more about how you got into wrestling and what it is.
Okay, so I started wrestling. I'm 17 now, and I started wrestling when I was 13. See, I've been doing it for a few years now. I basically got into it because I kind of wanted to just learn a bit of self-defence. You know, just I think it's important that people know self-defence. And so I started and I wasn't looking to take it serious or anything, just as kind of like a hobby. And then when I started, I just fell in love with it. It's an Olympic sport. The aim is there's a few different ways you can win a match. You can win by points. So by the end of the match, whoever has the most points gets to win, or else you can pin your opponent. That's basically where you put your opponent's both shoulders on the mat, and between like 3 to 5 seconds. That's one way you get an automatic win then. Or else if there's a 10-point difference, so if it's 10-0 to you or 15-5, 20-10, then you get the win as well. So they're kind of the 3 ways to win. Okay,
is it something that you were always interested in, or did it kind of come about by accident? Because I'd imagine it's not something that, you know, all the lads are doing in school. You know, while they might be playing GAA, hurling, soccer, whatever the case is, you're going off and training for wrestling.
No, honestly, it's not like, as I said, I only started wrestling when I was 13, and I basically just started it for self-defence and just fell in love with it. Like, it doesn't run in my family or like all round. It's not a big sport in Ireland. I feel it's definitely grown. It's definitely a growing sport in Ireland. And another aim I have was I want to grow the sport in Ireland as well. I think there's definitely more people getting into it, but that's another goal I have, is to make it a big sport in Ireland.
Where did you train then, and how easy was it to find somewhere to train, and how often did you have to do it?
So I train out of SBG Naas. It's kind of between Naas and Newbridge in Kildare. I train wrestling every day there with my coach, Sergei Bukulski. He's the reason I'm at where I'm at today, and I'm able to go to these tournaments. And, you know, if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be at the level I'm at now. Obviously, I know I need to work. I'm going to get to a much higher level, but I can thank him for that as well. But he's another big part in why I love the sport as well. You know, he made me fall in love with it.
You mentioned the level that you're at now, Brandon, and just to go through some of your achievements, you're the current Irish national wrestling champion for under-18s and seniors at 65 kg. You're also the current under-18 British national champion, the under-18 Norway prestigious Colburn Cup champion 2022, the Scottish Open champion for this year, and the under-18 and senior 65 kg Dublin Open champion for this year. So really it seems as though the last year or so have been massive for you and brought a lot of success.
Yeah, it has. The past year now, I've been just purely focusing on wrestling. I used to do MMA, so I was kind of doing wrestling, jiu-jitsu, MMA, kickboxing. I was kind of focusing on a lot of combat sports, a lot of disciplines, for MMA. But the past year now, I've been kind of just focusing on just pure wrestling. So I've literally just been competing in wrestling competitions, and that's how, to be fair, this last year has been big for me in wrestling. I've won a lot. Yeah, no, it has been, to be fair.
And you're only 17 years of age. It's quite rural out there in Coildove. And are you trying to manage wrestling as well as going to school, or what way does that all work?
Yeah, so that's my 2 biggest priorities at the moment, is school and wrestling. I'm literally just studying whenever I can, do my homework, you know. But a big goal I have is I'm trying to get a scholarship for wrestling over in the States. That would be a dream come true. I could basically just wrestle all day and also get my education in and get a good degree, you know. That's a big goal of mine as well.
Things have been moving forward for you, though, and am I right in saying you've recently signed a contract for German wrestling, a team over there, and they compete in the German Bundesliga? So what can you tell us about that?
Yeah, so basically, I'm after signing for a team. They're called AC Germania Artern, so they're in Artern in Germany, and basically a season is from September to December, and they'll fly me out every weekend. They'll cover everything, and I'll basically just get that experience of wrestling over in Germany and wrestling different wrestlers every weekend. So that'll definitely come forward a lot for me. Like that'll be a good bit of experience I'll get. I'm buzzing for that now. That starts in September. Every season about 4 months long. Eastern European countries like Russia, Moldova, even Germany as well. Like it's a very big sport there. It's not in Ireland at all. That's what a big goal for me is, as I said, is to grow the sport in Ireland. Because I love the sport, and I feel if other people give it a chance, and if they see another Irish person competing high level in it, then that can attract them to the sport. But it's much higher level in countries like, as you said, Germany and like Russia, Moldova, all them Eastern European countries. It's massive, and the level over there is unbelievable.
Is it probably just because there's a lack of exposure when it comes to those type of sports, Brandon? Because, even last night, the Ireland-Gibraltar match was on telly. You have the GAA matches that are on at the weekend. You have rugby shown on telly, so they get a lot more exposure. But there's so much great work being done, so much success even from yourself locally that's being done, and that's why we're showcasing it here on the show. But it doesn't get the level of recognition it deserves.
100% no. I don't feel it doesn't. That's another thing I'm working towards. I want it to get the recognition it deserves, and that's what the more and more people that do the sport in Ireland, the more recognition it will get. But I do feel one day it will get the recognition it deserves.
Super stuff, super stuff. Tell us then about your trip over to Albania last weekend. That was the competition that we mentioned there, the United World Wrestling European Championships. You were the first ever Irish person to compete at the competition for Ireland, and it's an Olympic level sport, so that in itself is a great achievement. What was it like over in Albania?
Oh, it was a great experience. I loved it. As like it didn't go my way. I wrestled the Belarus in the round of 16, and it was a close match. At points, I was winning the match. He won just by a couple of points towards the end, but I feel I gained a lot of experience from it, and to be able to say I was the first Irish person to compete at it already feels like a big achievement, But I'm just happy I gained the experience from it, and I'm going to go back next year stronger.
If people want to follow your journey then, Brandon, what's the best way to keep in touch with you?
The best way would be to follow my socials, my Instagram and my Facebook, and they'd be kind of my two main. I kind of document my journey, like my tournaments and how I do, even my training. I'd showcase some of my training. Yeah, then my Instagram, my Facebook would be the best way to look at my journey and how I'm doing in the sport.
And finally then, I know you're out in Tenerife just having a bit of a holiday, a well-deserved holiday as well, but when you come back from that then it's jumping straight back into training, I'd imagine.
Oh yeah, head down. I'll be back training every day. I'm going to a tournament in August in Hungary and a training camp as well. So I'm going to put my head down, work hard at that. I'll do as I can. I'll do as much as I can in Tenerife as well, But as soon as I'm back, head down, back training every day then.
Well, listen, it's been great talking to you on the show this morning. Keep flying the flag for wrestling here in Ireland and for Coil Dove and the county of Kildare, doing the locality proud there. And I know you're getting lots of support locally. And best of luck when you join that German wrestling team, AC Germania Artern. They compete in the German Bundesliga, and that season runs from September to December, as Brandon says. You can find more information on his Instagram, Brandon Best Blake. Brandon, good to talk to you and good morning.
Appreciate it, Owen. Thanks so much for having me on.
Kildare Today with